Hi, I'm Randy, and today I'm going to talk about nationalism. Nationalism is pride and loyalty that citizens have for their country or a nation. Now you may ask, how can an understanding of nationalism help us understand today? Well, throughout history, many events were caused by nationalism, and a lot of those events still affect us today. In the end of this video, I'll be answering this essential question. Nationalism could be a good thing or a bad thing. For example, the Russian nationalism caused the Crimean War, which led to division between the countries. But it also could be a good thing and unite us together. For example, during the 1800s, the Canadian nationalism unified the British North America colonies to defend against the Americans. Because of the Confederation of Canada, a new country was made, and the people were much stronger than before. The word nation has a different meaning than country. The definition of a nation is a large group of people united by common descent, history, culture, or language, inhabiting a particular country or territory. Within a country, there could be multiple nations, and like I mentioned before, the conflicts between nationalism could cause divisions and sometimes even war. During the late 1860s, the Hudson's Bay Company was planning to sell the Rupert's Land to the Canadian government. During this massive land trade, they did not consult with the indigenous people that lived there, but they kept their promise of giving a piece of land for the indigenous people to live on. However, they did not recognize Métis the same as the other First Nation people, so the Métis were worried that their land would be taken away. Louis Riel was a great example of Métis nationalism. He was a heroic leader of the Métis, who fought for the land and rights. Louis Riel was the leader of the provisional government. They negotiated with the Canadian government and convinced them to sign the Bill of Rights. Throughout history, many events were caused by nationalism, and many of those events still affect us today. For example, as a Canadian, the Confederation of Canada was one of the events that has an impact on my daily life. Without nationalism, there would be no Canada, and if there were no Canada, then our identities would be different. So by understanding what nationalism is would really help you to understand what happened in the past and why we think they're worth remembering or celebrating today. After knowing what events were caused by nationalism, you might have your own opinion on whether nationalism is a good thing or not. The definition of nationalism stayed the same, but the symbol of nationalism had changed over time. Instead of having wars or division between the countries, it's now more friendly and less aggressive than before. The symbol of nationalism is around the world, like the Russian military parade, the National Days, or even the First Nation people's music that you hear in every school assembly. No matter which country you're living in right now, nationalism will always be around you. Maybe it's so deep inside of you that you didn't even know exists.